Viva Diego's house! Thanks. Yeah.
Welcome back.
I was sick for
You got the flu?
Yeah.
Not fun. I had it over the break. I'm, who are you? Are you doing it today? Or are you starting? Oh, okay. I'm so, nice to meet you. I went there. Hello. Thank you. You need to cover when you're talking.
If I had arms, I would.
Well, you better have arms, then have arms if you're gonna talk. You don't want to foot.
I don't have it.
Actually, Samantha, go ahead and open the door. All the way back. Thank you.
What?
She's not.
Thank you. Thank you, Samantha. That's okay. Just try it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah? Why don't you get it, John? What's that? What? I didn't hear you. Why y'all looking so suspicious? Put away your cell phones, please, all your gadgets. Put away your electronic gadgets, everybody. Put them off the... Hello? Headphones, gadgets, put them away. Thank you. Tai Chi! Oh, I thought that was Tai Chi, that hat. And the sunblock, or the glasses.
Whatever happened then?
Tai Chi? So guys, I don't know if you have heard of the phenomena referred to as spontaneous combustion, but Tai Chi spontaneously combusted.
No.
Yeah. It actually happened. He was using his cell phone too much in one of my classes and went up with a puff of smoke. His thing got high. I wonder whose stuff this is.
No, it's freezing. Why is it wrong with it?
Because it's not shut.
Because it's the law in here.
How you doing? Welcome back. Excellent. I'm doing great, thank you. What's that? Ernesto, the gadget, would you put it away, please?
I'll think about it.
Watch out, you're gonna knock that over. Yeah, you. You might want to put it in a more secure location. I mean, you know, it's up to you. You know, not. I'm looking out for your best interest there. Okay, you guys. Let me put on some.
And then it happens.
Oops.
What do I do with my book? Oh, it's over there. So let's talk. The last highlights of chapter 1 before we put it to rest. Yes, Ernesto?
You should watch a movie.
What's that?
You should watch a movie.
We should watch a movie? Watch a movie?
Like the claw?
You know what, Chris? Those about your dogs.
Sorry.
resources.
Now what? Dogs and.
Man, I can never freaking, all these years, and I still can't spell this dang word.
Why don't you pick up the book, take the book with you.
Entrepreneur?
Come back and forth.
You know, it's a hard word to spell. Entrepreneurship. And finally, inputs. There we go. Okay. So chapter 1, section 1 is complete.
This movie reminds me of the old movie.
Can you please stop?
And you listen to the piano.
The law of increasing opportunity costs. Everyone turn to page 14. Turn to page 14, please. That'd be page 14. There you go. Right now it's not a do homework time. Right now is be engaged in discussion. And why are you staring at me like that? You look like you want to. I don't know. I look up and you're like, what? Scaring me, man. You guys look at page 14. What is the law of increasing opportunity costs?
I don't know, maybe you should read it, Mr. Walton, tell me to read it.
Maybe you should.
I don't like to read it.
The law of increasing opportunity costs. If you guys look at page 14 and you look over to the side of page 14 there in blueprint, it says in small blueprint, states that the opportunity cost of a good rises as more of the good is produced. Okay, now, to get back into this. The tendency, now we're on page 14, over on the right-hand side of page 14, the second paragraph, the tendency for the opportunity cost of a good to rise as more of the good is produced is called the law of increasing opportunity costs. This is the first of several economic laws you will learn in this book. Andrew, take it away from there.
Sorry.
It doesn't say sorry. It says note that the condition. So are you on page 14?
Yeah.
Are you looking at the right-hand side of the page? Yes or no?
No.
No? Well, will you?
Well, I'm lost.
You're lost?
Yeah.
So where's page 14? Where's the right-hand side of the page? That would be, that's your left hand. This would be the left-hand side. Where's your right hand? Okay, you're still pointing at the left-hand side of the page. This is the right, this is your right hand. That'd be right there. Second paragraph. You see it? The tendency of the opportunity, you see that? Yay or nay? You look at the blueprint? Okay. Now you with us?
Yeah.
Note. See the sentence that begins note? It's about 2 lines down from the blueprint. Note that the conditions for economic laws, continue reading.
Note that the conditions for economic laws are not always met, and these laws do not hold 100% of the time.
Devin, take it from there.
However, learning the laws of economic behavior can help you understand a great deal about how the economy works.
What's how the economy works? What is an economic behavior? Give me an example of an economic behavior. What condition might exist that would make you behave economically? For example, what's that? Well, give me a scenario. What might make you behave? What does that mean to behave economically?
Purchase something.
To purchase. What else? To sell something, what else? To trade something, what else? Can I hear somebody besides Tyler Platz's voice? Tyler Platz, you're doing a hell of a job, by the way. I just want to see if other people are thinking right now. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I want you guys to think about this, and I'm going to call you out by name. And when I call you out, I want you to, now, again, think in terms of economics. What is economics? Economics is the study of unlimited wants and needs in competition with limited resources. Okay? Economics exists on a micro, that's personal or really small level, and a macro, that's societal, really large level. Okay? So when I talk about economic behavior, you could contextualize it by thinking about your own life, your own purchases, your own trades, your own deals, or you could think about it on a societal, national, state, world level. Okay? So I want you guys to think about an economic behavior, and I want you to think of an example of that. What would be an economic behavior? And again, you can apply this to either the micro or the macro level. Libby, give me an example of an economic behavior. If it'll help you think about in your own life, buying groceries and what might determine what you buy. Okay, so what your income is, very good. Give me another economic behavior. Devin, what would be an economic behavior? What's something you might do that's either your personal, small scale, or the large scale economy? What's that? Did you say pass? You're not allowed to say pass. This isn't rounds. Well, Devin, let me ask you something. If you need to go somewhere, like right now, would you want to go to Disneyland, yes or no?
No.
Devin, would you want to go to Disneyland? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you go to Disneyland right now? On your own? I'm not saying about your mom taking you, but could you do it on your own?
I could.
Then answer the question before he can say anything. Yes, you can do it on your own. Why? How? How would you get there?
You got power, you got money?
You got enough money to do it? Yes or no? You got enough money in your bank? Yes?
No.
What, in your pocket? What, do you crap money? What? How do you get money? Okay.
Obviously from working.
Okay, but hold on. So you don't have, now let me ask you this. Over time, could you get enough money so that you could go to Disneyland? Yes or no? No? Yes. Okay, what would you have to do when you get that money in order to be able to go to Disneyland? That would be a behavior. Saving that money. So, in the context of you guys and in the context of an economics class, you'd say savings. Okay, give me another economic behavior.
Where are you going to live at?
Where are you going to live? Deciding on where you live. Give me another. We did that in the careers class, right, guys?
Yeah. You did?
We were limited to how much a month? Based on $9.05 an hour. Nope. Oh, okay. So because we were netting $1,333, how much of an apartment could we afford? How much a month do we have to spend?
If you want to afford an apartment or a household, doesn't it depend on your job?
She just said it.
Oh.
I said $9.05 an hour. You would get approximately $1,333 a month if you worked the traditional full-time schedule. Now, based on that, how much of an apartment, how much do we have to spend for an apartment? Well, I'm asking Tyson. Yeah. Well, because you're in the careers class. Okay, it came out to about $500. A third of our gross income. All right. Give me another economic behavior. Had you answered already? So far I got buying groceries, purchasing a house, saving, what?
Yes.
Purchasing gas. Very good. Deciding on which gas station to go to. I got a question for you guys. Do any of you know where the cheapest gas is in this area? Where would you guys go? I do. I know exactly where I go to get gas. No, oh, Chevron? No. Chevron's extreme. AM, PM. Which one would you go to? Which AM, PM? They're not all the same. There's two of them. Well, there's more than two. See, I'm wondering, like, if you guys know where specific places are. So, like, if I say, hey, Samantha, do you guys notice these kinds of things when you drive by? No? Okay. You know what I would do? I would say, start looking at the world around you.
I do.
Okay. That's why I don't like it when you guys have your hood on and you guys are like looking at your little gadgets and stuff. I want you guys to be inquisitive. I want you guys to be like, not just for academic reasons, but just so that you guys are aware of the world at large, so that you guys can make good decisions. Okay? So, for example, the AM PM at the corner of Eastern and Marconi has some of the cheapest gas in this area. Okay? You're not going to find it cheaper. Now, there's an economic decision you have to make, and that is if you don't pay for it with cash, you're going to either have to use their card, their AM, PM gas card or credit card, or you can use your debit card, but you guys know how much you charge for using a debit card at AM, PM? You guys know the difference between a debit and a credit card?
Yeah.
These are all economic factors, economic decisions you make. 35 cents to use a debit card here, which, when you compare it to if you have to fill up your tank, is worth it.
So you know if you can get in like 50
What's that?
dollars.
So say what?
If you want to fill up a car, you need like 50.
Yeah, so the 35 cents that you would save. So look, if it's 10, 15 cents cheaper, and it's 35 cents, let's say it's 10 cents cheaper than gas somewhere else, how many gallons, at what point are you going to start saving? Well, after about 3 gallons, right? That'll be about 30 cents. Now, how many gallons does the average gas tank car take? If you have a truck, it's usually about 20 gallons. So 17 of my gallons, of my 20 gallons, my truck is 22.5 gallons. That's the capacity of my gas tank. So after 4 gallons, anything over 4 gallons, I'm saving 10 cents a gallon. I'm paying that debit card cost. But I don't hit AM, PM that often, so I've probably been there enough. I'd be better off getting a credit card, but I didn't. So buying gas, buying groceries, getting a house, savings. Hey, if you're sitting there thinking, those are really simple, Wallace, I mean, then start talking in terms of what are other economic behaviors. Okay? Right now, the news is full of a behavior that's driven by, part by politics, part by the economy. Okay? Just a hint. You, what's another economic behavior?
Going on vacation.
Going on vacation, whether you do or don't. Very good. Tai. Going to the movie, so entertainment. Miscellaneous spending, not essential spending. Ernesto.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
My own business.
Buying your own business?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've forgotten your name. What is it again? First name?
No.
Nicole? You know what? I knew that. I said her name is Nicole. No, really. And then I realized, but I don't know that 100% sure. Anyway.
I'm Nicole.
What's that?
Only Nicole.
Only Nicole?
A vehicle.
Oh, owning. I thought I heard only Nicole. Owning a vehicle. Very good. So if you couldn't afford a car and you need to get to work, what else? What are your other options? Okay. All right, well, walking or riding a bike. Nico.
Getting a loan.
Getting a loan. Very good. Okay, so we just hit personal, micro, econ. You ready? I want you to start thinking macro now. I want you to think of large scale. I want you to think national, world, state. You can think county, economic behaviors. You ready? Okay. Walmart just made a decision. They behave with an economic target in mind recently. What did Walmart do? Not locally, although we do know what they did locally. They closed down. You guys know that, right? But they also, I announced it earlier in this class. I said they made a big decision. They were going to change their minimum wage. You guys remember what they changed it to?
I don't want to move.
No, I told you in class.
Like you did.
$11. Yeah. And by the way, I erased it, but you guys had an assignment over the weekend. Yeah. You know what? You guys might want to look at the damn box every once in a while. All of you. You guys are seniors. I shouldn't have to repeat this. I erased it. I wrote up there last week. I bullet pointed the Secretary of Commerce. Did you guys look up?
Well, yeah, I know one.
What's his name?
I don't know, but he's Asian.
Yeah, that's a state.
But I know.
Okay, that's fine. Yes. If you can tell me who the Secretary of Commerce is, well then I guess you're just gonna have to look it.
No, I need to go to the.
Go to the restaurant. Do I ever stop you guys from going to the restaurant?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you guys to start thinking macro level now. You guys ready? For the It's May 14th? No worries. What's up? Okay. 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 Right.
Shalom.
Cool. And I'll say that I do the same, like I tell parents, don't look at what the grade is when it's spread out over a semester. Look to see if they're turning in. Roger that. Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay, so what are some macro level economic behaviors that are occurring? Now again, I'm not talking about you. I want you to remove yourself from the equation. I want you to start thinking about, obviously you guys, this is an economics class that applies really to U.S. economics, which means it implies that there's going to be factors that tie into world economics. Well, what are things that are happening domestically? What do I mean by domestic?
Like,
Within the United States that are economic behaviors. Yes.
like if a company buys another company,
Okay.
like an Apple buys Shazam.
Okay. Okay. So we talk about, so I think what you're talking about is like a corporate takeover.
Yeah.
Okay. Or corporate rating. You guys know what corporate ratings, what a corporate rater is? Have you guys ever heard the term a corporate rater? No? This is someone who would go in. So what does a rater do? If you raid a village, what are you doing?
Like steel.
You take it over and you take everything that you want from the people in that village, right? So a corporate raider, what oftentimes will happen, this is kind of a worst case. A corporate raider isn't someone who It's not a positive connotation, it's a negative connotation. So think about it. A corporation will employ many people, right? Typically. Not all corporations. There are corporations that when you talk about like big time money laundering and stuff, there are things that exist as corporations, and it turns out that those things are just ghosts. They're a facade for something else. But a corporation employs many people. You guys nod your head to that. Does that make sense? And of course, if many people being employed in America, that's good for America, right? Because what does that mean, guys? Nico, what does it mean? If a lot of people are employed, what does that mean for the country?
Jobs are being made.
Means jobs are being made. What else?
Money.
Means money is turning over. It's changing hands. Means goods are being produced. Now, if goods are being produced, what does that mean for the economy? If I'm going to produce a good, it's only because of what? So taxes are going to be generated, so that's good. And would taxes lead to what? Services, right? So there's more services, but if goods are being produced, that means somebody out there is buying our goods.
Yeah.
That means people in America have money. Does this make sense now? So a corporation existing is a good thing. So a raider comes in and they will take over a corporation, and typically a corporate raider then takes it over to make money off that corporation. And again, they're talking about a corporate, we're not using the term merger, it's using the term raider. They will come in and they will take it over, and oftentimes what will happen, a typical scenario is they'll begin firing people. Okay? They'll be saving money so that they can make money, and then oftentimes what will happen is that stocks in that company will go down. Now, some corporators, what they'll do is then, once those stocks go down, they will buy up a bunch of stocks, and then all of a sudden put money back in the company, and if it makes money, all of a sudden their stocks, whatever they bought the company for, now they can make a profit on those stocks. Now, the problem being, of course, all those people who were let go, all those jobs that were lost, those people are screwed. Oh, this music is too loud for this discussion. I feel like bopping up and down.
I watched that 70s.
So again, not a positive connotation, okay? But it is an economic behavior, okay? And, all right, what's another macro level economic behavior? I'll throw this out to anybody. So corporations buying other corporations, mergers, what else? Macro level economic behavior.
Would building a new corporation be?
Building a new, so expansion, absolutely. Okay, if you're expanding, it means what? Because it costs money to expand, right?
Yeah.
So you're taking a risk. You guys following me here? You're taking a risk. So think about it at your own level. If you own a company and you're working out of your garage, and all of a sudden you say, hey, I need to expand because I'm making pretty good money and I'm producing a lot of stuff and I need more storage space. I need a larger building to produce space in. So you go out and you rent some space or you buy a space and you move into this bigger space. That's going to cost you money, right? So you take a risk and you're hoping that once you pay that money, you're going to be able to produce more goods and people are going to buy them, so you will reap those profits, right? Makes sense. So if you do it on a large level, if you invest money in something to expand, that is an economic behavior. What else? Think laws. Laws that are created. Think regulating or deregulating. That creates opportunities.
Net neutrality.
What's that?
When they took away net neutrality, and the utility company came in.
That's an economic behavior. That would be what? Would that be a matter of regulating or deregulating? Deregulating. What else? So this is why I'm asking you guys, study the internet, read the news, learn about what's going on economically around you guys. We are in the midst of a government shutdown. It didn't,
Yeah.
since this morning, has it lifted,
No.
Chris? Is it
Yes.
still?
Yes.
It's lifted? They
There
came
is a
to
resolution
they came to a resolution
Till February 8th.
till February.
Government's-
Oh, so they got the
Well,
30
Until February 8th, 81 to 18.
Okay,
But it hasn't passed the Senate yet, but it's expected.
it's expected to pass the Senate. So things like shutdowns,
Well, why did you shut it?
what's that?
Shut down.
Why did you guys shut it down?
Because they weren't able to not Congress, the Senate at this point. The House already passed a budget. They sent it on to the Senate, and the Senate couldn't agree on it. And so it forced a government shutdown. So what happens is, who gets hit are federal employees first. So that's when they talk about it. Now, you gotta imagine the federal government employs a lot of people. The biggest employer in America is government, right? So that includes schools are part of the government too. It's part of a bureaucracy. It's part of services. Okay? So, yeah, that's why. So these kinds of decisions are also economic behaviors. How someone votes is an economic behavior, right? So a lot of people who voted for President Trump were voting for the fact that, hey, this might bring back jobs to the United States, especially if he carries out his promises, which he carried out to deregulate. And our economy, so far economy is doing really well as far as the stock market is. They've been pretty stable and have been doing well, and there are some people who are very happy about that. Those are economic behaviors too, and that's on a macro level. And then at macro level, economic behavior it has an impact on your micro level economic behavior. Back to this. Page 15. Left-hand side of the page, Andrew, you following me? Left-hand side of page 15, second paragraph. What is behind the law of increasing opportunity cost? Why does the opportunity cost of butter increase as more butter is produced? The reason is that some resources, take it away, Tyler. Thank you for following along. Are better suited for one type of production than for another. For example, some of a country's land is very well suited to raise dairy cows needed to make butter. In the United States, that land is known as Wisconsin. Other lands, such as a desert, would make raising dairy cows a struggle, but is a fine place for a gun factory. Labor is also specialized. Some workers are happy and productive working on a dairy farm. Others can't stand the smell of manure, but are high achievers in a factory setting. As for capital, and what do we mean by capital, guys? Keep your finger right there, so we're going to come back to it. Just real quick, what do we mean by capital? Two types of capital, what are they? There's physical capital, and there's human capital. Got it? Well, there's three, and then there's financial capital. Okay. But right now, we're talking in the context of scarcity of resources. As for capital, those red barns and milking machines are less than ideal for making guns, and the metal stamping machines used to form guns aren't great for making cows or milking cows. What kind of capital are stamping machines and barns? Is that physical or human capital? Physical capital. Remember, physical capital is the machinery the machinery used to create goods. Okay? Nicole, can you take it from there?
Specify these ideas to the
Let me stop. Thank you for knowing where we are. Start again from the beginning.
Specify these ideas to the guns and then
Mhm.
Yeah, by examining figure 2.3.
Where's figure 2.3? Let's go and find it. I bet it's on the next page. Oh, there's figure 2.3. Turn to page 16, opportunity cost. Take a look at that figure. Take a look at that graph. You got tanks on one part, butter on the other. You see a bunch of numbers there. You see a descending graph.
Mr. Wallace,
Yes.
the same image is on page 14, by the way.
But here's the problem, Libby.
What's your problem,
Okay.
Mr. Wallace? That says 2.2.
What is, dude, there's no freaking difference, the same thing.
Look at the yellow lines.
Oh, never mind. All the yellow lines match different, never mind.
How come I see
Oh.
Ernesto and Taisha teaching
Ah.
high school subject?
Thank you.
Whatever.
I would be a great high school teacher.
See, the two graphs show two different things. They're using the same criteria, but the same criteria tells you two different stories. So that is where you just want to attack me. You're not even really thinking about, it's like, okay, yeah.
Any chance I get.
I hear you. You better be careful though, because one of these days, I might come in here and I might decide, screw it. I don't care what anyone does to me, they could fire me. And I'm gonna walk up to you and I'm gonna stick my butt on your shoulder and rub on. Alright? Just like I do my daughter when she pisses me
Oh
off.
my God.
You punch me?
You did that.
You know what I'd do to you if you did that? I'd come over to you.
We are all going on field trip. Please?
Okay, so you guys understand what's happening on page 16, figure 2.3. The first 100 tons of butter are made with resources specialized for making butter and of little use for making guns. So the opportunity cost is only 100 guns. As more and more butter is made, it must be made using resources better and better suited for making guns. So the opportunity cost rises. Does that graph make sense, the information that it conveys? So that you guys can understand. So I guess my question to you is this. Give me another example of opportunity cost. The law of increasing opportunity cost. So we go back to the definition, okay? So go back to page 14. And the left-hand side, remember, the law of increasing states that the opportunity cost of a good rises as more of the good is produced. How does that make sense to you? So here's a good, guys. Oh, these are dirty as hell.
Oh, it's cold.
These are my glasses. Let's say this room,
It's freezing.
we're producing, what's that?
It's freezing.
You don't care. You don't care.
Because I'm an evil bastard.
Yeah, you can say that again. It's still cold.
Okay.
You care?
Door stays open.
See?
That's child abuse.
Might be, but y'all aren't children. Y'all are teenagers.
Teen abuse.
That's all right.
Well, I'm gonna call child services.
Child services. I'm gonna call teacher services.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm being abused, verbally abused by my students.
I mean, you started it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it sister.
Yeah, you started about it. Zoe Coca-Cola.
I like what?
Oh, that's much better.
No. What?
You guys can complain, go complain.
No,
That door's staying open.
My husband graduated from Jesuit High School.
Yes.
You did
Here's
good.
Nemesis. They did not have the heat on, nor were the clocks working. His parents paid money for him to go there.
Okay, we pay money for the
So
clothes.
it is done.
What's the heater?
It works.
Okay, so, question. As more goods are produced, so here's my example. More and more of these glasses are being made in this classroom. How does that create opportunity
They're
cost?
actively being made in this classroom.
Well, if they were. What would that do for people's like what kinds of opportunities are increased because of the production of goods?
Any worldwide.
No, not the end result. Come on, we're talking about economically speaking. What economic opportunities are created.
The people who are making the boxes are making the money.
Okay, they're making the money, and in order to make the money, I want you to go back to this. As a business makes more profits and gets more people buying, more people consuming their products,
It has to be a good product.
what might that business do?
Expand.
Expand. Okay? And so there are opportunity costs that are then created, and when a business expands, Nicole, if I open up a new, like if we, let's say I buy Mr. Evie's classroom, and we start producing in there too, so we can produce more in here and more in there, is that better for you as an employee?
Yeah,
Why?
making more money.
You can, excellent, how? Excuse me, I can't hear her, what's that? There's more, so here's kind of the tricky part. The more there are of you, your actual wages might come down. Depending on how I am as an employer. Or I could do what? I could demand that you guys work harder, but in return, what might I give you?
More money.
Yeah, through what? Wages, an increase in wages, what else? An increase in more hours worked. There are some people who will take a job who want to work extra, who want to work overtime, so that they get overtime costs.
Yeah.
So there are more opportunities, again, we're talking economically speaking, as more products, more goods are being produced. So that's a good thing when goods are produced, okay? Now, it's a good thing economically speaking. Sometimes there's a lot of people who feel that a lot of modern unrest, a lot of modern discontent is due to the overproduction of stuff. Technologically speaking, as far as what it has done to people's time, their quality of life, the environment, these things. There are some people who might criticize it, there are other people who might say, pshaw, it's all good in the end. Could you stop that? I feel like someone's sanding a little tiny thing.
Well, how do you put the water in so it's all it's cold? Leave them alone. I'm not
Bodies
cold.
never should be that.
Well, you're gonna be paper like your
Page
head.
23. We got micro and macro economics. Page 26, market. Read it, and who haven't I heard from in a while? Devin, I haven't heard from you in a while. Would you please tell me what a market is when we're talking about economics? Let's say it's a place where you go and buy bread. Although that is a type of market, of course. But what are we talking about in terms of the economy? This general term that we refer to as a market. Are we all reading that on page 26 right now? Tai Tai? Tai Tai, hello. Would you put that away, please? Thank you. Ernesto, I love you very much. I really do. I care a great deal about you. Right now, I want to kick you in the freaking teeth.
Why?
Because you're annoying the hell out of me.
You're like an
You're getting me so angry, and I
You
got
like
farm,
you
I
like
get
fruit,
suppressed
I like
because
them
there's
apples.
ladies here. I might get so mad all of a sudden just accidentally let one go. And that'll be good for no one. What is a market?
Oh, that's
What is a market in terms of the economy? What are we talking about? It's a general term.
Collection of buyers and sellers.
Didn't I ask Devin?
You're supposed to say thank you.
Didn't I
guys.
ask Devin?
No.
By the way, everyone take a look at Devin today. There's something, doesn't he look kind of rough around here? He looks kind of tough. It's a good look, man. Look like James Dean or something. A market is a place where you buy goods, such as a supermarket, a flea market, or a farmer's market. In economics, a market is not a place, but a collection of buyers and sellers wherever they may be. Collection of buyers and sellers. So it's a condition that exists. It's a condition. So when we talk about the global cell phone market. That is a massive, right? Massive market. If there's one thing that everyone in the world probably owns, it's probably a cell phone. Not everybody in the world owns cars. Not everybody in the world owns Nike shoes. But I bet a whole lot of people in the world own cell phones. So somebody who controls or has a share in the global market, cell phone market, what company might that be? Is there one? Samsung. Who else?
Android.
Android. Who else?
Apple.
Apple.
Google.
Goggle. Okay.
You're an English teacher, you know.
Do you guys know? I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't. I don't remember the name of the phone service. Google Now offers telephone service. You guys know this?
No.
You guys know this?
Yeah.
You don't know this? I didn't know this. I just learned about it this
I
weekend.
knew it.
They're only, and so what they do is they offer, you guys know that Google offers cell phone service?
Yes.
You guys know that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay. All right, so how much is it, those of you guys who know about it? How do they do it? Because Google does not have cell towers.
No, we're not talking about the
They
Google.
partner with
Like AT&T.
They don't partner with them. Excuse me, guys. Google leases. They lease cell towers from them. Now, what Google had to agree to, this is an economic compromise, what they had to agree to is they were not allowed to advertise that they offered this service. So these cell phone carriers, so what they can, so you can get, my dad says cell phone service, he gets it unlimited, blah, blah, blah. He told me, I don't know what it is exactly, because it's all Greek to me. But he said basically it costs $20 where T-Mobile cost him, good morning, T-Mobile cost him about $35. So you could save $15 by doing it through Google. I said, how come, I never heard. He goes, well, you haven't, because Google had to sign a contract or had to agree that they would not be able to market this deal. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah.
Sure. Now, if all of a sudden these companies decide that Google is going to make too much of a profit and cut into our share of the market, what do you think they're probably going to do?
Expand.
Not shut it down. They might not be, I mean, maybe they could shut it down. I don't know. I think what they would do is they would charge Google more. And then can Google give you the prices that they give you? Probably not, because if you, as a business owner, have to incur a cost, that means that you have to take on a cost. Libby, who are you going to take that out on? If you're a business owner and you're a producer of goods, who will you take? Are you okay with taking on more costs, but selling your product at the same price? So you're going to take it out on whom? Maybe the employees, but really the effect is going to be felt by your consumers, the people buying your product. What am I going to do to offset? Because if I tell you guys, all right, let's go back to these glasses. Hey, plastic costs more, so I want you guys to take a pay cut. Are you going to keep working at my
No.
glass company? No.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. What kind of answer is yeah, no?
Obviously, yeah.
No, I got you. Okay. Instead of what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the market. These glasses now, instead of going for $1, are going to go for $1.10. Okay. Now, will people buy them? That's the question. If the market can withstand $1.10 for the product, if the market bears it out, then I don't have to take it out on my employees. Make sense? If my profits are the same, then I'm good. You know what might happen if the market bears out $1.10? I might say, well, if it withstood a 10-cent increase, I wonder what happened if I did a 15-cent increase. And if it withstood that, all of a sudden I just created 5 cents more per glass profit. Sometimes that's how things work too. Okay? That's why a lot of people would like to see more government deregulation. Let the people, let the market decide the price of something. That makes sense? The market. Because the market is made up of what two groups? Buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers. Not the producers, but the buyers and sellers. Who produces Honda cars? Honda. The sellers are the different, well, here's the thing. A lot of the sellers, of cars, don't necessarily represent that company. They're not part of that company. They sell cars, and they happen to sell Honda cars. And so what happens is Honda says, all right, I'm going to give you these cars at this price. Most people don't buy directly from a company like Honda. You guys realize that, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Because if they did that, one of the things, it would throw the global economy into, it would F everything up, guys. Because all of a sudden you're going to put out, you guys ever been to Roseville? You guys been to Roseville? You been to the Roseville Auto Mall?
Yeah.
Huge place, right? All those people would be out of business. All those people would work. And if they're not working, what could happen to Arby's down the street at lunchtime? They run out of business too, right? Because now the consumers of their product, roast beef sandwiches,
They don't have enough money to buy it.
they aren't, or they're not there. Did you guys hear about Amazon groceries? You guys hear about this? Is amazing. This could change like the face of like everything. Check this out. I just found out today that there are Amazon stores you can walk in. You have a code, a personal code. You go in and you pull something from the shelf and you scan it right there.
Oh, yeah.
And you, or I don't even know if you have to scan it. I think because maybe it's your phone is on you and that thing is right there. There's a little chip that's somehow engineered into like the price, the barcode. It'll register on your phone and you can walk out of the store with the groceries and it'll charge your Amazon account.
Well, I don't know.
So let's say I have, let's say this is my phone, right? And my phone can hook up, and these books, I believe there's a barcode.
iPhone.
Yeah, there's a barcode right here on this book. There's a little barcode. These things are really cheap to make. So my phone will read, or this barcode will read my phone, and automatically when I grab this, take it off the shelf, boom, bing, my phone registers the cost of this. Okay? I want to know if you look at it and put it back. I'll go on and get something else.
It won't do that.
Right, I know. Wouldn't that be funny? But think about that. So where do you guys shop and get your groceries? Winco?
Oh, groceries?
Where do you guys get your groceries?
Mexican
Bel Air? Bel Air, the Mexican restaurant. Winco. That's what you just said, right?
I corrected myself.
Oh, I didn't hear the correction. Okay, guys, so imagine that now. Who do you see, think of all the people who will be out of work. All the checkers, all the bag people.
Imagine this school shutting down, this will have no job.
Oh, dude, I'd be so happy. I'd be out there just going to parties, getting high, dancing at the club, drinking. No.
Boarding down.
All right. So what is a market? Is it a place? No. It is a condition made up of what two groups?
Buyers and sellers.
Excellent job. So when we talk about a market, we're talking about a condition that exists. Okay? So we got some new terms. LOIOC, Law of Increasing Opportunity Cost. It's on page 14, which is a law that states what? As more goods are produced, what happens to opportunities? Do they go up or down? They go up. Opportunities like what? More jobs, more production. Okay? And then I want you guys to think about when something is being produced, think of all of the inputs, all of the factors. I think tomorrow I'm gonna have to draw my farm. I like doing this. I'll draw my farm and all the tendrils that branch out. Hey, start chapter 2, finish chapter 1. You guys got like 7 minutes left. Excuse me. Yeah, we're not done with class right now. If you have not started chapter 2, take out a piece of paper and put your header on it. Start your header for chapter 2 today, right now. Take out a piece of paper and start your header for chapter 2. Ernesto, that means you two, please.
Can I just do it later?
No.
There is no one.
You got time? I'm just asking you to put a header on it. Just put your header. You need a piece of paper?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Start your header for chapter 2. Don't forget, guys, chapter 1, it was due last week. You got 2 weeks to do chapter 1. You guys should have it done. If you have not already turned it in. And please, Devin, for God's sakes, when you turn in chapter work, would you please staple everything from one chapter? Remember, your chapters will have more than one module or unit, so staple all of them together. Don't give them to me piecemeal. I believe chapter 1, or this book,
I did it differently.
it goes in modules. Your American government book all in sections. If you could fit modules 1, 2, and 3 in chapter 1, you're good to go. I mean, on one page, you're good to go. The whole thing, you gonna beat me with that?
Yeah.
I felt like you were. What?
The whole thing,
I don't know what you mean by the whole thing.
the module,
What about it?
like the whole entire green paper.
Chapter 1 has 3 modules, okay? You guys are doing, when you turn in work, you guys are doing either you're writing definitions for the entire chapter in each module. And listen, guys, you better be separating the different modules. If you're writing, it should be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Then when you do chapter 2, you're going to do 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, or however many modules there are.
I want to see like 1.1 on one page.
Okay, so if you look, we're still in chapter 1. That's the end of one module. Okay. Module 2, still chapter 1. Here's module 2, and here's module 3. And I believe chapter 1 ends at module 3, and then you have chapter 2.
I thought we said to choose to either.
So when you get to a module, you can either do the summing up the key ideas, and you would do half of them. Okay? So right here, when you do module 3, you could pick just 4 things, or you could do the definitions.
Oh yeah, that's the
The blue. And remember, in the margins, they have the definitions. You don't have to